Listen, let me tell you something real. People think the first thing that gets noticed about you is how you look. Your clothes, your hair, your face, but that's not it. Looks fade, styles change. What really grabs attention, what really makes people stop and take you seriously is your spirit, your confidence, your energy. See, before anybody checks out what you're wearing, they're picking up on how you carry yourself. Are you standing tall? Are you speaking with conviction? Do you believe in what you're saying? Because if you don't believe it, nobody else will. Presence matters more than appearance. It's a truth that too many people overlook in a world where we are constantly bombarded with images of what beauty, style, or success is supposed to look like. From glossy magazines to carefully curated social media feeds, society often tries to convince us that our worth is tied to how we look on the outside. But when you step into the real world, when you interact with people, when you try to build relationships or chase opportunities, it becomes clear very quickly that appearance alone is not enough. What people truly remember, what people respond to, is presence. Presence is about the way you carry yourself. It's the energy you bring into a room, the confidence you radiate, the way your words match your actions. It's the invisible force that makes people stop and pay attention to you, not because of what brand you are wearing or how perfect your hair is, but because you exude something real, something authentic. Appearance might get you noticed for a second, but presence is what makes people lean in and say, I want to know more about this person. Think about it. How many times have you met someone who looked polished, dressed well, maybe even physically attractive, but as soon as they spoke, you realized there was nothing deeper to connect with? On the other hand, you've probably also encountered people who didn't fit society's mold of beauty, yet the moment they walked in, they lit up the room. That's presence. It's not about the size of your waist, the price of your shoes, or the symmetry of your face. It's about your confidence, your kindness, and your ability to make others feel seen and valued. Presence matters more because it reflects something deeper, your character. When people sense authenticity in you, when they see that you're not pretending or trying too hard, they trust you. Trust leads to respect, and respect opens doors that appearance alone never can. You can buy stylish clothes. You can invest in makeup or grooming, but you can't buy presence. It's cultivated through self-belief, through living with purpose, through understanding your worth beyond what the mirror shows you. In moments of opportunity, whether it's a job interview, a pitch, or even a first meeting, looks may grab someone's eye for a moment, but presence determines the outcome. Employers don't just want someone who looks professional. They want someone who communicates confidently, listens attentively, and inspires trust. Friends and partners don't just want someone attractive. They want someone who makes them feel comfortable, safe, and understood. Presence is the silent language that speaks louder than appearance ever could. Another thing about presence is that it doesn't fade the way appearance does. Time changes our looks. Wrinkles appear. Hair turns gray. Bodies change. If your worth is tied only to appearance, you'll always be chasing something temporary. But presence, that only grows stronger with age. Wisdom, experience, empathy, and resilience all add depth to your presence. People remember how you made them feel long after they've forgotten what you were wearing or how you styled your hair. So instead of chasing perfection in the mirror, work on building your presence. Stand tall, even when life tries to push you down. Speak with conviction, even when your voice shakes. Show kindness, even when no one is watching. Develop your character, sharpen your skills, and embrace your uniqueness. When you walk into a room, let people feel your energy before they ever notice your clothes. That is the true power of presence. At the end of the day, the world doesn't need more beautiful faces. It needs more powerful souls who leave lasting impressions. Appearance might catch the eye, but presence captures the heart. And when you master presence, you'll realize that being unforgettable has nothing to do with how you look and everything to do with who you are. Belief in yourself is essential. Without it, even the greatest talent, the sharpest skills, or the most detailed plans fall short. Belief is the engine that fuels your actions, the quiet force that pushes you forward when everything else tells you to stop. It is the foundation of confidence, resilience, and success. You can have others cheering for you. You can have people who see potential in you. But if you don't believe in yourself, their support will never be enough. Belief is something that starts from within. And until it takes root inside you, nothing outside can truly sustain you. When you believe in yourself, you unlock a different kind of energy. Challenges don't look like dead ends. They look like puzzles to be solved. Failures don't seem like the end of the road. They become lessons that sharpen you for the future. That shift in perspective changes everything. Life will always throw difficulties your way. You can't control the storms, but belief in yourself makes you strong enough to walk through them. It allows you to say, this is hard, but I am capable. I've survived before and I'll survive again. Too often, people wait for external validation to give them permission to chase their dreams. They wait for someone to say, you're good enough, you're smart enough, you're talented enough. But the truth is, no one can hand you belief. If you rely on outside voices to define your worth, you'll always be at their mercy. One compliment can lift you, but one criticism can crush you. Belief in yourself frees you from that cycle. It means you decide your own value, regardless of whether others notice or not. History is full of examples of people who were doubted, ridiculed, or told they couldn't succeed, yet they did. What separated them from the rest wasn't perfect conditions or constant encouragement. It was the inner conviction that their vision mattered. Belief makes you show up when others quit. It makes you practice when nobody's watching. It keeps you moving even when progress feels invisible. That persistence eventually creates results. And those results become proof that your belief was justified all along. But belief in yourself doesn't mean arrogance or ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending you have all the answers or that you'll never fail. True belief is humble. It acknowledges the challenges, admits the mistakes, and still chooses to keep going. It's the quiet confidence that says, I may not know how yet, but I'll figure it out. I may not be there today, but I'll get there with time. That kind of belief is powerful because it's grounded in persistence and growth, not empty pride. There will be times when you doubt yourself. That's natural. Fear and uncertainty are part of being human. The difference is whether you let that doubt control you or whether you remind yourself of your strength. Belief doesn't mean you never hear the voice of doubt. It means you don't obey it. You counter it with action. Every small step forward, every risk you take, every moment you refuse to give up reinforces your belief. Over time, it becomes unshakable. Believing in yourself also inspires others. People are drawn to those who carry conviction. They want to follow leaders, friends, and partners who exude confidence and determination. Your belief creates a ripple effect. When you show others that it's possible to rise above fear and chase something greater, you give them permission to believe in themselves too. That's how belief not only transforms your life, but also impacts the lives around you. In the end, belief in yourself is not optional. It's essential. It is the seed from which every dream grows. Without it, ideas remain ideas and potential stays locked away. With it, impossible goals become achievable and obstacles become stepping stones. And you may not control the pace of your progress and you may not control how others see you, but you always control your belief. And that belief will be the difference between a life of hesitation and a life of fulfillment. Inner qualities shine brighter than outer looks. In a society that constantly glorifies physical appearance, it's easy to forget that true beauty and impact come from what lies beneath the surface. Looks may catch someone's attention for a moment, but it is the heart, the mind, and the soul that capture lasting admiration. Outer beauty may sparkle like sunlight on water, but inner qualities shine like a flame in the dark. steady, warm, and impossible to ignore. When you meet someone for the first time, your eyes might notice their style, their hair, or their smile. But as you spend more time with them, those details start to fade into the background. What stays with you is how they treated you, the way they made you feel, and the values they carried. A kind word spoken in a moment of pain, an act of generosity when no one was watching, or the courage to stand for what's right. Those are the qualities that etch themselves into memory. Inner character lingers far longer than outer beauty ever can. Outer looks are fleeting. Time changes them. Circumstances affect them. And no matter how hard we try, no one stays physically flawless forever. The face that turns heads today will wrinkle tomorrow. The body that seems strong now will eventually show signs of age. But inner qualities, kindness, honesty, resilience, humility, only grow stronger with time. They deepen as we learn, as we face trials, and as we evolve. That's why people with genuine inner beauty seem to become more radiant with age. Their presence is magnetic, not because of what they wear or how they look, but because of who they are at their core. Think about the people who inspire you most. Chances are it's not just because of their appearance. It's because of their courage, their wisdom, their compassion, or their strength. We admire leaders who stand firm in difficult times, friends who support us without judgment, and mentors who encourage us to believe in ourselves. None of these qualities come from looks. They come from the inside. Appearance can't replace empathy, integrity, or a generous spirit. Those inner traits build trust, connection, and love in ways appearance never could. The danger of focusing too much on outer looks is that it leads to shallow connections. If relationships are built only on appearances, they crumble when the surface changes. But when relationships are rooted in inner qualities, they grow deeper and stronger over time. Love that is based on kindness, patience, and respect can withstand storms. Friendships built on loyalty and honesty survive distance and difficulty. Success achieved through character and perseverance lasts longer than success based only on appearance. Cultivating inner qualities requires effort. It means choosing patience when you feel like giving up. It means practicing forgiveness even when it's hard. It means being honest when dishonesty would be easier. These qualities aren't always visible to the eye, but they shape the energy you carry. People may not always be able to explain why they admire you, but they will feel it. They will feel the strength of your character, and that impression is more powerful than anything appearance can offer. The truth is, outer beauty may open doors, but inner qualities keep them open. A beautiful face might help you get noticed, but a beautiful spirit is what makes people want to stay around you. Looks may draw applause, but character earns respect. Looks may attract attention, but qualities like empathy and wisdom win hearts. The shine of appearance fades, but the glow of inner character can light up every room you enter. So focus less on chasing perfection in the mirror and more on cultivating the qualities that outlast time. Be kind even when it costs you. Be courageous even when you're afraid. Be humble even when success tempts your ego. Those are the qualities that will never fade, and those are the qualities that make you unforgettable. Outer looks may sparkle for a moment, but inner qualities shine forever, leaving a light that others will carry long after you're gone. Opportunities come from character, not beauty. The world often tries to convince us that physical appearance is the key to success, but in reality, true and lasting opportunities are created and sustained by the kind of person you are on the inside. Beauty may open a door for a brief moment, but character is what keeps that door from closing. People might notice your face or your style at first, but what determines whether they trust you, work with you, or invest in you has nothing to do with looks. It has everything to do with who you are when no one is watching. Character is the sum of your values, your integrity, and your consistency. It's revealed in the way you treat people, especially those who can't offer you anything in return. It shows in how you handle challenges, how you respond to failure, and how you conduct yourself when temptation arises. Employers, mentors, and partners may admire your appearance for a moment, but they will ultimately base their decisions on your reliability, honesty, and work ethic. That's why opportunities flow toward character. They are built on trust, and trust cannot be bought or faked. Think about someone interviewing for a job. Appearance might make a positive first impression, but if the candidate cannot demonstrate discipline, responsibility, or integrity, that impression fades quickly. On the other hand, a person with character can walk in without the perfect look, yet their confidence, preparation, and authenticity will shine through. The employer isn't just hiring an image. They're hiring someone they can depend on, and dependability is born from character. The same is true in relationships. At first, beauty might attract attention, but it cannot sustain love, respect, or loyalty. A beautiful face does not guarantee kindness. A charming smile does not promise honesty. Over time, people want depth. They want someone who can listen, someone who can be trusted, someone who can stand beside them in both victories and struggles. It is character that builds bonds that last, not appearance. Beauty can capture eyes, but only character can capture hearts. Opportunities in life also demand resilience, and resilience is a product of character. Beauty cannot get you through a storm. Looks will not give you the strength to rise after failure or the wisdom to learn from mistakes, but character will. The person who is disciplined enough to keep going, humble enough to keep learning, and courageous enough to keep trying is the one who creates opportunities where others see none. That's why people with character are often remembered long after appearances are forgotten. They bring something valuable, something enduring, something that cannot be taken away by time or circumstance. Character also earns respect in places where beauty alone never could. You can impress people with your appearance, but you can only inspire them with your character. Inspiration leads to trust. Trust leads to influence. And influence creates opportunities that no amount of physical beauty can match. When you consistently live with integrity, people recommend you, they open doors for you, and they want to be connected with you. Opportunities are not handed to the most attractive person in the room. They are handed to the most trustworthy, the most dependable, and the most authentic. And perhaps the greatest proof that opportunities come from character is this: beauty fades, but character grows. What looks impressive today may be forgotten tomorrow, but the strength of your character builds a reputation that outlives appearance. Doors will close on beauty, but they will remain open for those who have proven themselves through honesty, effort, and resilience. In the end, beauty may bring attention, but character builds a legacy. So never rely only on appearance to carry you forward. Work on your discipline, your honesty, your kindness, and your persistence. Those qualities will take you farther than beauty ever could. Because while beauty might get you noticed, it is character that creates opportunities that last a lifetime. Looks may open doors, but attitude keeps you there. It's true that appearances can create a first impression. Someone may notice your style, your confidence in how you dress, or even the way you carry yourself physically. That initial spark of attraction or curiosity can sometimes open a door to an opportunity. But once you step through that door, what determines whether you stay and thrive is not how you look. It's the attitude you bring with you. Attitude is the lens through which you approach life. It shapes how you respond to challenges, how you treat others, and how you carry yourself in moments of success or struggle. Employers don't keep people on their team because they look good. They keep them because they bring a positive mindset, resilience, and a willingness to learn. In relationships, looks might catch someone's attention, but it's the warmth, kindness, and humility of your attitude that makes them want to stay. Attitude is what transforms a momentary opportunity into a long-term blessing. A person with a positive, determined attitude can take even small chances and turn them into something great. They don't walk into a room expecting everything to be handed to them. Instead, they bring energy, effort, and enthusiasm that make others want to work with them. On the other hand, someone with a negative or entitled attitude can ruin even the biggest opportunities. No matter how attractive or talented they appear to be, if they bring arrogance, laziness, or disrespect, people will not want to deal with them for long. Looks may earn you a seat at the table, but attitude determines whether you get invited back. Think about this in professional settings. You might impress during an interview with your appearance, but once the job begins, your attitude toward teamwork, problem solving, and perseverance is what makes you valuable. A person who shows up ready to contribute, open to feedback, and eager to grow becomes an asset. Meanwhile, someone who relies only on looks or charm but carries a poor attitude quickly loses credibility. Attitude builds reputation, and reputation is what sustains success over time. The same principle applies in personal relationships. Attraction might bring two people together, but attitude is what sustains the bond. A loving, patient, and respectful attitude builds trust and connection. Without it, even the strongest initial attraction fades. When times get tough, looks won't solve the problem. Attitude will. It's the willingness to listen, to compromise, and to support one another that keeps relationships alive. That's why many people will tell you that while beauty catches the eye, attitude captures the heart. Attitude also determines how you respond when doors close. Life will not always go the way you plan. Failures will come, and rejection is inevitable. In those moments, looks cannot help you, but the right attitude will. If you view rejection as redirection, if you keep your faith in your determination, new doors will open. People admire those who don't quit, those who stay humble, those who carry gratitude even when life is hard. That kind of attitude invites new opportunities, often bigger than the ones you thought you lost. What makes attitude so powerful is that it's a choice. You can't control everything about your appearance, and you can't control every situation, but you can control the attitude you bring. You decide whether to complain or to look for solutions. You decide whether to treat others with respect or with arrogance. You decide whether to let failure define you or refine you. That choice determines how long you'll last in the spaces your looks may have first opened up. In the end, looks may draw people in, but they won't keep them. Attitude is what leaves a lasting impression. It builds trust, it creates respect, and it shapes your future. If you want doors to stay open, focus less on polishing your appearance and more on cultivating the right mindset. Because while looks may get you noticed, attitude ensures that you'll never be forgotten. Would you like me to also expand the 6-point impact is measured by how people feel after you leave into 600 words in the same style. So you'll have the full set completed. Impact is measured by how people feel after you leave. Many people spend their lives chasing recognition, titles, or appearances, thinking those things will define their legacy. But the truth is, people won't remember the clothes you wore, the car you drove, or even the exact words you said. What they will remember is the way you made them feel. The emotions you leave behind, the encouragement, the kindness, the inspiration, or the hope you gave someone, those become the footprints of your presence long after you're gone. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks before you do. Some people bring warmth and light. They make others feel seen, valued, and respected. Others bring negativity or arrogance, leaving people drained or small in their presence. Long after you leave, those feelings linger. That's why impact is not measured by temporary appearances, but by lasting impressions. A kind gesture, a patient ear, or a word of encouragement can echo in someone's life far beyond the moment it happened. Think about the people who shaped your life the most. Chances are it wasn't their appearance that stayed with you. It was how they treated you. It was the teacher who believed in you when you doubted yourself. The friend who listened when no one else would, or the stranger who showed you unexpected kindness. Their words or actions may have been simple, but the feelings they left behind were powerful. That's impact. It doesn't take grand gestures. It takes authenticity, compassion, and presence. The measure of your impact also lies in consistency. One good act here and there may be remembered for a moment, but a consistent pattern of treating people well builds a reputation that follows you everywhere. People will trust you, recommend you, and open doors for you because of the way you make them feel. In work, colleagues want to partner with people who bring positivity and solutions. In relationships, people want to stay close to those who make them feel safe, loved, and understood. Your impact is written in the emotional imprint you leave behind, not the temporary impression of how you looked. It's also important to realize that impact is not always about what you say. It's often about how you show up. Sometimes just being present, showing empathy, or offering a silent hand of support can mean more than 1,000 words. People don't always remember advice, but they remember the feeling of being cared for, of not being alone in their struggle. That emotional connection is what transforms ordinary interactions into unforgettable ones. On the flip side, negative impact lingers too. Harsh words, dismissive attitudes, or acts of selfishness can stay in someone's memory for years. That's why it's so important to be intentional about how you treat people. Every interaction leaves a trace. You may forget it in a moment, but the other person may carry it for a lifetime. If you want to be remembered for good, choose to leave people better than you found them. Impact is not about being perfect. It's about being genuine. People don't expect you to have all the answers or to never make mistakes. What they value is honesty, humility, and kindness. When you leave someone feeling uplifted, respected, or inspired, you've left a mark deeper than any appearance ever could. That's why impact is measured not in things you show, but in feelings you create. At the end of the day, your legacy will not be the possessions you owned or the way you look. It will be the way you touch lives, the hope you gave, and the love you shared. When people talk about you years from now, they won't describe your outfit. They'll describe how you made them feel. That is the true measure of impact, not in the moment you enter, but in the lasting impression you leave behind.